At that time, I look at this guy as a god.
That if no one would like to get me help with this, I would go to the most vile of the vilest of the. Yani, I'm in a public place, right? I have no problem even being hand to hand with shaitan to getting this out.
Does he have any children, any kids himself?
Yes, and I'm making dua on them as well.
You're making dua on his children as well?
Yes. Their atoms, their cells, their bodies give him cancer.
Myself and my wife, we know her as Bushra, which is her real name. And some of you guys, and most of you guys, have never met her. I have met her face to face on multiple occasions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Before I start this video, I want to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Brothers and sisters, many of you guys know this sister who's come out with these accusations as Tuba, as Aisha, as Sarah. Many of you guys have heard her stories behind the screens and her accusations. Myself and my wife, we know her as Bushra, which is her real name. And some of you guys, and most of you guys, have never met her. I have met her face to face on multiple occasions. And I'm going to, inshallah, tell you guys exactly what happened when I met her, to when I interviewed her, and how this all transpired for me finding out what really happened. Now, in the beginning of the video, guys, you heard some things that were very, very disturbing. And I can remember when I first heard them, I was like, really? Would someone go to this level, no matter how much you hate someone, to say, yes, to his kids' selves? Now, there are people who kill children, like the Zionist regime. And every single one of you guys and all of us have come together in the past years condemning the atrocities. And we have been shocked over and over again when Zionists have come and justified their actions to us. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when somebody comes and says, not just making general dua, I hope his children, this happens to them or something bad happens to them. They go to specific details by saying, I make dua against their selves. Who talks like that? Number one. Number two, to come and say that he sees hijab as a god is number two. Number three, making dua that he himself, hijab, gets cancer. And the most shocking of them all, because all of them you can say she's making dua. There's no active thing that you can do. But no, she actually tells her intentions of even shaking hands with shaitan. Yeah, not anyone, shaitan. And now, obviously, she maybe have attempted or not. But then she says, I will go to the most vilest of the vile. And she did exactly that. By going to human satans and going to the most vilest of the vile. And when I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, we are talking about people who rip the Quran, who spit on the Quran, who insult the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who curse, who do everything and say everything to insult Islam. Not only that, these two individuals, Apis and Rotten Wood, who went to Israel, walked the streets of Jerusalem and said, we don't see any genocide, mockingly, while the Palestinian kids were being blown into pieces, they said, we don't see any genocide. So you know what? One thing that I will give her, she did go to human shaitans, and she did went to the most vilest of the vile. She definitely fulfilled that promise that she gave you and all of us, and she went to them and told them those stories. We're going to come to that. And Salman, yes, Dunya's ex-husband, very shortly inshallah, and how he casually dismissed in his latest video, not even mentioning about the dua against his kids, yes, their selves. I mean, these are children. These are innocent kids. No matter how much I can hate someone, and believe me, Apis and Rotten Wood are people that I make dua against, and I ask Allah to destroy them. Like if they were destroyed in front of my eyes, I would have popcorn. I would never, have you ever seen me ever say that I would like to see their children get killed? Which human being would ever get and pick on innocent children unless you have psychological issues? Now let's break this down step by step of my occurrence and my wife's occurrence with this sister, where she messaged me, when I met her, what she said, and how I fell for her story. And this is how it transpired. How did I meet Bushra? Not Tuba, not Aisha, very oddly and vividly. Like, it's so odd the name Aisha she used. I wonder who asked her to use that name. Muhammad and Aisha. It rings a bell, doesn't it, guys? We're going to come to the information and who she's been working with behind the scenes to use that name Aisha out of all names she could use. She used Tuba, she used Sarah before, but for some odd reason, in this very instance when she's becoming public, she used the name Aisha. But we will come to that later. At first, she messaged me on Instagram. And I get many messages on Instagram, and I prioritize those who are on the verge of suicide, they have a doubt, or whatever it is for that matter. I got this message. I saw this message. And my wife has access to my phone. She read it, etc. And she said to me, you know what? Stay out of it. Because I don't know what she saw. I'll be honest with you. I sometimes see and I'm just like, come on, I'll just say, look, can you just read this for me and see what it's about? My wife read it for me and she clearly told me, do you know what, Ali? Don't get involved, whatever it is, etc. And there are sometimes sisters out there who just come to me just for attention or whatever it is for that matter. And I'm not saying she did that or she didn't. I'm just saying my wife clearly told me, Ali, just stay away from this. I said, no problem, I'm not really bothered. But later on, she was persistent. And when she persisted, I said, you know what? Let's have a look. She's a sister in Islam. She has a concern. She seems like she's very adamant. Something may have happened. I consulted with my wife and I said, you know what? Let's just see what the situation is. So my first occurrence with her after that was when she came with Mohammed Tarawna. Yes, and came to me and I sat down with her and I heard a story. Mohammed Tarawna came and said to me, this is what she's gone through, hear a story. I said, no problem. I mean, if it's coming from yourself, I mean, okay, there must be something, serious for that matter, from what I vividly remember. Or it might be that I had that meeting first with Mohammed Tarawna and then the messages came, one way or another. Anyways, so I sat down with her. I can remember in the little room in No Star Studios, and I heard a story. She told me this person, and I said, look, number one, first thing first, I don't want to know who it is. Do not tell me who it is. Because it can be, like this is an accusation, by the way, it can be someone that I know, and I don't want to be biased. I want to be just, my loyalty is to Allah and His Messenger. I have no loyalty, I'll be making it very clear, categorically clear. Not Muhammad Hijab, not Zishan, not my dad, not my mom, not my daughter, not my sister. I don't have a sister. I have no loyalty, let me make this clear, to nobody except Allah and His Messenger. Okay, anything to do with that, no problem. So I said, listen to me, sister. I don't want to know the person's name. You're claiming this happened. Please tell me your story. And the story was similar from vividly what I can remember about marrying somebody, misyar marriage, he treated me like this, girlfriend-boyfriend marriage, hotel marriage, all of that stuff. I said, okay. Right. I mean, when you hear that from a sister, and this is another thing as men we fall into, sometimes we can be very naive. We believe it. And I'm not going to mention the sheikh that I'm going to be talking about, but he does marriage counseling. He says one of the mistakes that we would do is when a sister comes in and she starts crying, we automatically think the husband is wrong. And this is wrong. Ali Radiallahu Anh said, in order for you to understand justice, you have to hear both sides. And this is where I failed. As a human being, I failed. Because when I heard a story, and she's told me this, I sympathized. I was upset. I was angry. I was like, which human being would do these things to this sister? I was upset. So was Mohammed Tarawna. Same. He was, when I was with him, he was upset. Yeah? Now, moving forward. Then afterwards, there was a communication through Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. After that, she asked to come and meet me in my dawah table. I said, no problem, sister, but I got my wife. Alhamdulillah, actually, she said, can I come? I said, yeah, you can come. I said, if you're free, you're not doing nothing, leave the kids at your mom. She came with me. Actually, no, she came with the kids, if I'm not mistaken. She came, and this sister, Bushra, said that she would be more comfortable. I said, alhamdulillah, to me, it's better. It's a public place anyway. It's not like we're meeting anywhere private. No problem. My wife came, we went to Cafe Concerto, we sat down and we spoke. One thing my wife noticed was this. She said this to me actually herself. She said she didn't even acknowledge my wife's presence there. Like for someone, and I'm not saying anything, she's like, she seemed very, like to me, she seemed like she wanted blood. Like I could just see from her eyes, she wanted nothing but blood. And my wife even said like, it's as if like her body positioning is as if my wife didn't even exist. And I even met her daughter, beautiful young girl. She was playing with the kids, etc. We bought some ice cream, etc. They were sitting there. That was my second occurrence with her. I spoke to her. And the third occurrence was when I heard her story, when she told me, you know, she was lied into getting a secret marriage, she didn't want this, and all these kind of stories. And I thought to myself, subhanAllah, whoever this person is in the Dawah scene, I don't care. I said, I want the public to hear your voice. Now, I could have come and say, hold on a second, you know, it's in the Dawah scene, it might be someone that I know, let me be biased, you know, because, you know, if we're biased, I would say, you know what, sorry sister, your story is lied, don't contact me, don't message me, go away, get it. No, I took her voice and I said, let her have a voice and express herself. Only one condition, because it's an accusation, no names are going to be mentioned because it's an accusation. I don't know who it's about, etc. But you want to voice your opinion, no problem. So, however, later on, I did find out who it was, but I still went ahead with the interview because I said, look, it's an accusation and it's my duty now to find out the other side because the name has been mentioned now, which I did not want it to be mentioned. I let her have her voice. Now, she said that she did not want to get into a look. Let's read from the website clearly. So the question is asked, did I agree to a secret marriage? She starts off with never. Now listen very carefully. 2 words I want you to pick up on. Never and secrecy. Never and secrecy. This is very bold for someone coming and saying never and secrecy. Now let's read some messages which when I saw and when in this very studio, because when these accusations were unfolding and then I happened to know the name she mentioned, I didn't ask for the name. I told her clearly, I don't want to know the name. When she mentioned me the name, I still went ahead and done the interview. The most blameworthy thing that people come and say to me is, hold on a second here, actually what you done was a violation towards your friend Hijab. And I'll say, you know, actually you're right. Because if you think about it, my bias was actually towards her when I didn't know who it was. And when I knew who it was, I said, look, in order for me to be just, which actually I was unjust, if you think about it, I was thinking I was just, by hearing a story, this whole interview that we took, and then I came to this very house, and then I played this thing. I said, somebody approached me, yes? And this was my indirect way of getting Hijab to, like, see if there's he can come up. If this is someone that he even knows. I wanted to see, does he even know her? We played the full interview, and Hijab said to me, bro, I know this voice. I know this woman. And I said, okay, who? And he said, come and let me show you. This is the messages that he showed me that made me change my mind. It made me embarrassed. It made me realize the mistake that I did. Because to me, of not wanting to be unjust, I ended up being just. I ended up being unjust towards Hijab. So if you think about it, if I have any loyalty, I would have done the opposite, right? Would I not come and say to her, look, you're a liar? No. I actually had to apologize to Hijab and say, bro, I'm sorry. It's just I didn't want to be biased and I took the interview, whatever. This is what he said. I want you guys to listen carefully, please, yeah? Could I ask you today, please? I need some advice. So Hijab is replying saying, I know a 28-year-old brother, Tunisian, not married, no kids. I've known him for 20 years. Would you consider him for marriage? Okay, you can see. She says, thanks for thinking I could be suitable for someone you've known for 20 years. I would consider, I can't see the text here, that has high religious level and practice. The next message. Sorry about those texts. I got emotional. Lol. And then Hijab replies, listen, I honestly think what you deserve and what is most likely to ensure that you don't go through heartbreak or repression is a normal monogamous relationship. I must give you this advice. Otherwise, I would be cheating you. Third message. Now listen carefully, this is very key, because remember she said never for secret marriage and secrecy. I can go for a religious man, inshallah, and give up on equality. Did you hear that? Okay, now I just don't want to be cut off in case she finds out with no mistake of mine. And then I would still go for a religious man even he has to cut me off if she finds out with no mistakes of mine. Now, there's an issue that I have. Let's suppose this marriage actually happened. Let's go with argument's sake. Even though clearly Hijab is denying it. This marriage didn't happen. Okay, let's go with it. The text here says, I just don't want to be cut off. So she's first expressing, I don't want to be cut off if your wife finds out. Which it tells you clearly that she is agreeing to a secret marriage. It's a secret marriage. Number 2. And then this is what I found a little bit odd. In the same message, she twists and says, and then I would still go for a religious... So, okay, 1 second. First you're saying, I don't want A to happen. But if A was to happen, I will still go ahead with it. Says, and I will still go for a religious man, even if he has to cut me off if she finds out with no mistake of mine. I don't know if you guys find this troubling, but number one, the first point is this. The evidences does not match. First you're saying never to secrecy. Then you are saying that, which is actually very weird, because Sister Bushra, because I've met you face to face, Sister Bushra, you here are saying this, and guess who else is actually not only just calling you out and showing the evidence not matching here? Apus, the very vile Satan that you said you go to the worst of the worst, you went to him. He's even actually having a go at you. This is an enemy of Islam who you went to. He's even saying and blaming you and saying you are as much to blame if this marriage happened, that you went there and said, oh, it's a secrecy. He's actually saying to you, what you did was not even honorable. This is an enemy of Islam, the most vile of the man who rips the Quran and spits on the Quran, telling you that you went to him, by the way, him and David Wood, which we're going to come to a bit later, with all the evidences how you've been working with the enemies of Islam, not only about this story, but trying to aid them with evidences used against Islam, which is kufr. I'm not doing takfir of you. I'm saying it's kufr. So, your evidences does not match. When I saw these messages, I was so angry at myself, because what you told me and what came out to be, which is these evidences, was what? I'm not going to say. There's two options here. Either you are an outright liar, or number two, you have psychological issues. I cannot put anything in there. If I want to assume the best in you, I'll say you have psychological issues, or there was something happened, whatever it is. I just don't know how you can come and to me and Mohammed Tarawne and tell us this story, and then after that we find the truth of stuff that you haven't said, to these accusations, and this as an accusation that you married him and the hotel marriages and all of this case with no single evidence. We took your word. We believed in you as our sister. We didn't come and say, get lost, you attention seeker. I sat down with you. I'm a busy man. I've got a family. I've got 3 daughters. I've got kids. I have daughters. Yes, I took your word seriously. I sat down with you. I gave you my time. Even though my wife said, look, don't get involved, stay away. Even then, I said, nope, look, she's our sister. I came and I done an interview. I listened to your story. My wife listened to you. We was there with your daughter, subhanAllah, a beautiful young girl, subhanAllah, and many other things that you didn't even tell the public, which we are going to talk about very soon, inshallah. So, after that, I apologized to Hijab and I said, forgive me, because not wanting to be biased and not wanting to be unjust, to have justice, I was unjust to you, Aki. So this is an uqsum billah, if Allah is my witness, this all happened in this very house. So that is the reason why I did not release the video. This is the reason why I actually even deleted it. And subhanAllah, I even tried to retrieve it. We couldn't. And I'll show you the messages here, yeah?
Subhanallah, no, Aki, you know, bro. That is gone, Aki, long time. That's gone a long time, bro. Subhanallah. Yeah, that's gone a long time, Aki. Long time. What I might do, let me see if I can try and get it recovered, but I doubt it, bro. It's been so long. I doubt I can get it back.
We couldn't. So this is phase 2. Now we're going to move on to phase 3 of her outright working with the enemies of Islam. And you are going to be shocked. And one thing that you said, which, because I didn't hear the thing of I saw him as God, but if you remember Bushra, Sister Bushra, if you remember, when we sat down with you and my wife, and I was talking to you, you said, I saw Muhammad Hijab like his Abu Bakr. Now, when I heard this, I was thinking, like, I mean, Abu Bakr, you know, like, I mean, no disrespect to Hijab, yani, I was just like, excuse me, like Abu Bakr, like, well, I don't understand, like, why would you hold some human being, like, Abu Bakr's human as well, but, you know, someone to that level. I was shocked. This showed me that there was a deep level rooted obsession, because for you to message and give, because you're basically giving hints to Hijab in that message. I'll be honest with you. You're basically saying, whoever this man is, you know, if he takes me as a second wife, etc., I don't mind foregoing my rights. This is another level of misyar. So to my dear sisters who are supporting Sister Bushra, etc., look, I'm not saying whatever she went, I don't know what she went through, that Hijab's thing, clearly it's nothing to do with him, but simple question, my dear sisters, defending her, no problem. And actually there was one sister who messaged me on Instagram like, yeah, your friend done this. I said, are you married? She goes, yeah. I said, what if she approached your husband and said, I don't mind being a secret, even if your wife finds out? She stopped messaging me. I said, I thought so. if she messaged your husband and said, I don't mind being a secret second wife. I don't mind that if your wife finds out that you can leave me. Look, I'll be honest with you. Yes, okay. I've been in situations where people have been in polygamous marriages, and mainly sisters will say, look, if your wife finds out, are you going to leave me? I might do. Sorry, I don't want it. So to me, in that instance, brothers and sisters, it shows that you are obsessively you're pursuing him when you are accusing him of pursuing you. That's point number one. And not only that, Mohammed Tarawne, he's got an audio recording we're going to play for you.
Now, above this case, Akhi, when Sister Bushra reached out to me and she told me about the marriage between her and Muhammad Hijab, I believed her. Later, Muhammad denied this marriage. Now, on my side, I tried to speak to Sister Bushra. I tried to advise her. Also, I tried to make her feel that she's heard and to calm her emotions down. But none of my efforts made any difference to her. And at the end of the day, Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who judges between all our affairs, and Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who is just and fair, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So I will leave this matter to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Also, my brother, I don't want to get involved in this matter any further. So please, my brother, don't contact me for this matter anymore. Jazakallah khair.
Do you think I'm going to coerce? Uqsum billah. Do you think I'm scared of Muhammad Hijab or Zishan or anyone? Do you think somebody's going to... and to be honest, my psychology, actually, if somebody threatens me, if someone says sweet words to me, I might work with it, yeah? But if someone threatens me, I work the opposite way, yeah? Okay, so listen to me. I don't care. Like I said it before as well. I'm telling you exactly what transpired. Okay, so before Salman comes and says, Hijab's got a gun, you can't see it behind here, is telling me what to do, yeah? Okay, Mohammed Tarawne and myself both fell for this, and Dunya's ex, I'm going to call you Dunya's ex, okay? You are so obsessed with your ex, you've made your whole Dunya. And I'm going to come to you very later, because we are going to be exploring many episodes to come about Dunya's accusations about you and how she claims that you committed zina, my friend. Yes, and I'm not saying you did. I'm just putting it out there. We'll come to it later. So, brothers and sisters, as I told you guys before, when Sister Bushra came to me, I heard her story. I heard her out. We listened to her with my family, my children, because we took her seriously and she is our sister in Islam. But brothers and sisters, this matter has become personal to me. Not because Hijab is my friend or my brother, but rather the messages that I'm about to show you now will leave you jaw dropped. Because this matter has become about Islam. Because what I'm about to read now is a message from her account, and we're going to prove to you it's from her account, saying the following. Hi David, I have some important information to share with you that you may find useful to share about Islam. How can I contact you? When I saw this message, this matter became very personal to me, because I told you guys before, my loyalty is to Allah and His Messenger. And since, Bushra, you have decided to throw Islam under the bus, I'm not going to do the same thing, and I won't. You have not said here, I have information to share about Muhammad Hijab, or Ali Dawah, or whoever for that matter. You have directly made a statement of kufr. Share what information about Islam? With who? Are you sharing information with Sister Khadija, who wants to know how to defend Islam? Rather, you are going to the vilest of the vile, and you are shaking hands with Shaitan, and that Shaitan betrayed you. So from these messages, guys, for somebody to drop so low, no matter how much you hate one individual for whatever reason it is, to go and say that you will be sharing information that an enemy of Islam who laughs and mocks the death of Palestinian children who are being blown into pieces, who rips the Quran, spits on the Quran, who burns the Quran, who insults your messenger day and night. And we are going to take the testimony of this woman serious, yeah? Bushra, it has become personal now. Now what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, is we're going to show you the first mistake, or the many mistakes they made, but one slip up, of a message, a fake, photoshopped message that we have to give it to our brother Salman, Dunya's ex-husband, should we say, who came out and said that this was photoshopped. Just one thing you missed there, brother Salman, should I say Dunya's ex-husband. Yeah, that Photoshop message that you missed out on your video to inform your viewers was done by Bushra herself. And here is the evidence.
In this relationship and so on, I want you to help me make things easy. I really want this to happen. So I thought, like, at that time, I look at this guy as a god, like, because I trust him enough. I was like, I didn't see at all anything wrong that's going to happen. This is for me like the story of the marriage of Salman.
We're going to show you now the correlations and the connections that her channel had when she even contacted David Wood. She has been on multiple Dawah live channels of Dawah-wise, Brother Hashim, Mansour, Sheikh Hazm, and many of these du'at with shubahat about the Quran.
So Sister
Because
Sarah,
we have
Sarah, could I ask you, so in terms of the Quran and its preservation, do you have an issue with that, or are you convinced that the Quran is preserved?
well, I'm trying to understand here,
No,
right?
but I'm just asking you. I'm just asking you in terms of
Yes,
where
I do have an issue. Yes, I do have
Okay.
an issue. Like as I
So-
said in the beginning, all of it. Because
That's
for
fine.
So now, like I said before, Dunya's ex-husband, which we're going to come to a bit later, inshallah. So he said that this was photoshopped. Yes, it would be nice if you told them that it was photoshopped by your client, Bushra. It says here, you have time to see everyone in your life except me. I just want to sit down and talk. I am not Shuli or Dershowitz. I am not your enemy. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Ali, what's the proof here? One little thing. If you see the reply that Muhammad Hijab apparently gives, sister, please have self-dignity, leave the matter to Allah. This was on 10th August 2023. This happened before October the 7th, which meaning that Hijab did not know or did not have any communication with Shuli or Dershowitz. So this is a direct fabrication. Now, where was this aired? Where was this put on? On Bushra's channel. And here is the evidence we're going to show you where she had to take down multiple videos randomly, and somebody who's from the Arab world asks her the following question. And look at what she says. This person who's in Arabic, it's written in Arabic, says in a nutshell, is asking Bushra, where did those messages go? Because they were quite strong points. In a nutshell, she's saying about the accusations and da-da-da-da-da. Now, reading that in Arabic, you're assuming that is a sister, a righteous mu'min behind there asking for her to aid her sister. Not really, because if we look closely, guys, it says Proverbs 1 Christian. And I don't know if you guys seen a pattern, but I've seen a pattern all across Dunya's ex-husband's videos and all across everywhere. Christians are flooding the comment section. Now, why would they do such a thing? Why would the enemies of Islam do such a thing? All right, I know why. Because Bushra, you have been aiding them. Like you said, you're going to go to the vilest of the vile and the most satanic of the satanic, and you've shaken hands with them. And you are not only doing that, you have even told David Wood that you are willing to share information about Islam. Bushra, don't worship yourself. Allah says in the Quran, have you seen the one who takes his own desire as his own ilah? Your desire to take Muhammad Hijab down for whatever reason it has gone beyond him. You have now directly have allied yourself with the enemies of Islam. Now we're going to provide you evidences how this channel is connected to her, and she took those videos down. Not only that, forget me, take it out, not the horse's mouth, the Satan's own mouth. David Wood. Here is what he said and how he confirms this YouTube channel is directly connected to Bushra, your channel. Here's the video.
It's been verified. The woman here, Aisha, she's calling herself Aisha. She's actually in the chat. Her channel is Faith. I think it was Thaddeus who said that he verified that it's actually her. But she says, I'm the woman in question. When I said he ruined my life for years, it's because we were in contact for 3 years prior to the marriage, and I have been fighting for 2 years to get justice.
So what you heard there, brothers and sisters, of these two Satans, two bastards, one bastard down there who raised £100,000 and put his wife in hijab, accepted Christianity, that other bastard there, clearly admitting that this is her channel. It's been verified. It's her channel. And what we showed you on the screens shows that it was her channel, and she took down the videos. So much so her Christian friends now, because they've been allyship, the Christian friends are asking her, where did those go? And she's saying, oh no, it's going to come back, inshallah, yeah? She went on multiple Dawah channels live and went there to talk about the doubt that she had.
Another verse in Quran which says, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Had it been from other source than from Allah, they would have found so many contradiction in it. So when you read the Quran, do you see any contradiction?
Well, if the alterations weren't so many,
I'm not talking about any alterations. I'm saying when you read the Quran, do you see any contradictions? Contradictions in the oneness of Allah, contradiction in the prophethood of Musa, of Isa, of Ibrahim, of Noah, of the Anbiya, contradiction in the rulings, in the Shara, in the legislative, in the Islamic legislative. Do you see any contradiction in nikah, in inheritance, in all of this?
Anything in the Quran? Anything in the Quran?
No, of course
Hashem,
not.
what's up?
Sorry, what did you say, brother?
Hashem, what's up? Please continue.
Yeah, so I don't think I personally don't see any kind of contradictions at all. But this, to me, this doesn't negate the questioning around alterations, because we may find a book and then we have a few verses.
Now, we don't have a problem with doubts. People can have doubts. It's understandable. The problem that we have is the intention. What intentions and what plotting are you coming with those doubts? Because when the brothers answer your questions logically and rationally, you persist on the Quran's preservation and it's not preserved. Where is these ideas coming from? That is the point. Now, brothers and sisters, we're going to end the segment on this before we come to Dunya's ex-husband. Yes? Ex-husband who's so obsessed with the dunya. Yes? He's made his whole world dunya. This man. We're going to come to him now. But before that, you just need to remember something, because it reminds me of the ayah of the Quran. And Bushra, I'm telling this to you, I know you're going to be watching this. Okay? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. Yes? You went and shook hand, you said, with the most vile of the viles. Satan. You will shake hand with Shaitan, yeah? No problem. Guess what? What does Shaitan do on Yawm al-Qiyamah? What did he say? He says that I am free. He frees himself. I am free. I only called you. And you know with Shaitan, you can say, you know what? He's the one actually calling the people to evil. You went to Satan's doorstep. You went to evil. He didn't even call you. You went to them. And here's a clip of one of the Satans, these bastards, his faces, they got Latin on it. You can see, yeah? Look what he said and look how he actually humiliated you. Wallah, it just reminded me of the ayah where you went to them for aid and they just chewed you, used you and spat you. Okay? Alright, this is what they actually done to you. Look at how he humiliates you for your deception of secret misyar marriage.
Why are you blaming the victim?
She's not a victim, man. I mean, let's face it. I think some people need to be ready to be criticized for some really stupid decisions that they make, especially. And I'm not saying that she did something stupid in misjudging character, and doing something, getting herself into it. But it also involves her being deceptive and dishonest, and basically engaging in a plot for her own benefit and her own pleasure, as it seems in going or hiding it from his family and all that.
So the very people that you went to are now blaming you. Maybe, Bushra, you should take accountability for your actions. Maybe you should. Because right now, I'll be honest with you, I have no kind of mercy towards you, because you have brought Islam into this, not Muhammad Hijab. No, with all due respect. You have put and tried your best to throw Islam under the bus. This is why the problem has become personal now. If it was about hijab, I can just come and do a video and say it's an allegation, I've made you. No. You have took this a step forward, and the very Satan that you shook hands with stabbed you right behind you. What did you gain now? What did you gain? Nothing. So on this segment, we're going to finish this, inshallah, with the Satan betraying, the very person who's gone to them for aid. So, like you said, Bushra, you will go to the most vilest of the vile. You will shake hands with Satan. You've done that. And here is what you got deserved. Now we're going to move on to the next segment, where we break down the ex-husband of Dunya and his false accusations. In this segment, brothers and sisters, we are going to be, inshallah, talking about Salman. Salman, the ex-husband of Dunya. And before we get to that, brothers and sisters, he brought forth an individual who's been working with the enemies of Islam, who has clearly, with a passion, with rage, have said, yes, I make dua against his children's cells, atoms, makes dua that hijab gets cancer, says I will work with Shaitan, says that I will go and work with the most vile of the vile individuals who have admitted and said that she saw hijab as a god. And personally to myself, in front of my wife, told me that she even saw him as Abu Bakr. Now, you might think to yourself, does it get any worse than that? Yes, it does. I'm going to read a message for you guys. This is a camera angle of a helicopter, an Israeli helicopter, who was shooting at innocent Palestinians. And she makes this comment, which I find very bizarre and very odd. And bear in mind, this is the client of Salman, this so-called righteous, honorable man who's sticking up for the oppressed. Or is he someone that is obsessed with his ex-wife, and the rage that he has against her has caused him to be unjust against others? Let's read this. It gives you the feeling of doing things just to experience them. Psychopathy, narcissism, and sadism. Anyone who would be in that position and have been restricted with his life from authority has low self-esteem, would have a great urge to press the button and kill them. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, who makes such a absurd, weird comment? And if you think about pressing the button, it reminds me of the two Israelis in a podcast saying, if we could press the button and wipe off everyone in Gaza, we would. So I'm just thinking, Bushra, why are you talking in that manner? Not against hijab, not against Islam, we've already thrown them in both under the bus or whatever for that matter. You are now talking about the Palestinian people who in that camera angle they are fighting over food because they are starving to death, and you happen to make this comment. So, Salman, next time a client comes to you or any individual who can make up stories, say things that they've told us, and then we find out the truth. Next time, before you jump the gun and humiliate your own self, which you have, because you have brought no evidence. What evidence did you bring? I can make up the same evidences against you with Dunya and use ChatGPT or AI. In a matter of 5 minutes, I would have all kinds of messages, your voice recordings which are generated by AI, in matter of seconds or minutes. So, therefore, we have proven to you that there is no evidence. Not only that, we have shown you a forged, photoshopped message that you yourself admitted the only little key factor that you missed out, which was what? That it was Bushra herself who made that, and she took it down from her channel. Maybe you asked her to take it down. Did you, Salman? Oh, and before I forget, in that very message, there is a voice note right underneath. Why don't you press play, bro? Why don't you press play? Because you know very clearly that you admitted it was forged. The question we ask, because we have debates with Christians all day, all night, the very Christians, the enemies of Islam that Bushra went to, and the very Christians that are on your comment sections with David Wood, who insults Islam, that he's got 300-400 likes, and you don't even have the decency towards Islam to delete his message. Who are you working with? And what objectives, what gains do you have out of this? That's the question that I want to ask you, Salman. Yes, you know very clearly, because when we talk to Christians, we point out a single verse of the Bible and say, if this is corrupted, your whole Bible is in a big question. And we ask you the same thing. If this has been forged, what else has been forged? You need to ask that question to yourself before jumping the gun, Salman. And if this is the yardstick, if this is the criteria that we are going to use, we are all doomed. All doomed. So is yourself. Because, Salman, you're not just going to get away. We're going to use your standards, bit by bit, one by one, against you. Not in this video. We've got videos coming for you. How? We're going to be listening to Dunya's account of the things that she accuses you of. And we are going to take her word for it. Just to use your standards. And we're going to be seeing, in the coming days, when I release those videos, and see the stuff that she's accused you of committing zina, there being video footage, that you used to beat her. Yes, you used to beat her. Again, we're going to use your standards and have her say on it, because I done a video defending you against her. Yes? Little did I know that when I found out the moment you was threatening hijab, when I found out that you was taking these allegations seriously, I thought to myself, where is your evidences? And I was waiting for you to bring the evidences. Until this day, many people are commenting and saying, it's been the first video, the second video, the third video. Where is your evidences, man? Where is it? Otherwise, anyone any shape, form, can make accusations towards anybody. Use AI, whatever it's for that matter. So we are still waiting for your so-called evidences, which you do not have none. Unlike yourself, we have shown you evidences, connections. Yes, both internally and externally, connecting her voice to the number, her speaking, coming to live platforms. We've matched her voice. We've put it through AI. The AI said it's the same person who spoke to on the live stream on Dawah and many other platforms that she's gone on to. We have shown you all the evidences, and we'll show you again. Check these clips.
No, I think it's the wrong number that you dialed.
Oh no, it's very nice.
As you can see, we have clearly demonstrated and proven to you that we are talking about the same individual, and we have given you the evidences. Do you have something like that? If you don't, what is your motivations? Now, the only thing that I can bring it down to, which I see a common factor with you and Bushra, is that you are obsessed. You are obsessed with dunya as Bushra is obsessed with hijab. And that rage has clouded your judgment of being just, so much so that your friend demonstrated this in a voice clip. Let's listen to it for ourselves.
On the other hand, and I need you to also understand this, I'm not going to be quiet. Every single one of us has been burned by religious, powerful figures because of whatever reason. And unfortunately, when people, when they get to that ibtila of a shuhra, becoming famous, unfortunately, the vast majority start to engage in wrong behavior. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He protects you from that. I'm not saying that you did it. I'm just asking questions so that you can help us, so that we can help you at the end. But again, I get it. You don't trust us. You don't know who we are. We could just turn around and basically backstab you and betray you. I understand that, and I would probably be hesitant as well if I was in your situation. So I don't know what else to do. I'm just giving you a lifeline. If you want to have a video chat with me, if you want to get to know me, if you want to just, you know what, maybe that's what it will take for you to feel comfortable with me. Ahlan wa sahlan.
So you heard that for yourself. Every single one of us have been burnt by religious figures. Meaning what? The enemy here is religious figures. Just because you had a bad experience, which you claim, by the way, because right now there's a big question mark on everything that you say. Yes, because you've been burnt, which that means is that basically you are number one from the get-go bias. Because now it's like anybody that comes with a religious figure, you're like, okay, good, I've been burnt by the religious figure. I'm going to take evidences forward even if I cannot verify them. Okay, and using words like, we have cornered you. What kind, I mean, which Muslim that comes with, we wanted the best and we wanted hijab to come and say his side, speaks like that and says, we have cornered you? That shows malicious intent. That's the reason why the evidence that we bring forth is going to be, well, it's damning already for you. There is a big question mark on you. And not only that, Muhammad Hijab is not the only person you've attacked. You've accused Omar Suleiman of free mixing and flirting with your ex-wife. Again, these were slanderous, because when I spoke to Omar Suleiman, he took an oath by Allah, and I spoke to you, and I'm not going to do what you've done, because I sent you a private message, which, not that I have a problem you mentioned it in public. I had nothing to hide. I'm happy that you did. But the point here is the principle. You go and read a private message. Do you remember you sent me a few messages about your ex, Dunya, yeah? And you said to me, please, like that, I entrust you with this. I do not break that trust. If I want, which I hate what you've done for the sake of Allah by aiding the enemies of Islam with no evidence with this sister Bushra that you have not even met in your life. Yes? I'm not going to do the same and reveal those messages because I gave you my word. I'm not going to allow that to go against a principle that I try to live by. I could easily come and say, hold on a second, shall I mention this and this and this that you've mentioned to me in private messages? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall for it because I sent you a private message. You made it public. It shows what kind of, you have no integrity. Not only that, number two, Muhammad Tarawne clearly told you, do not mention his name. You disregarded it. What kind of a man are you? If somebody gives their word to you and says to you, listen, whatever he said, which he was duped into as well, which after you heard the recording, which he clearly said that he was duped into it just like I did, and I believe you was, but you brought this to public and made this whole fiasco and this whole scandal that the enemies of Islam are using to insult the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Okay, why? Because a deluded woman who wants revenge at any cost, that she will curse the cells of the children and work with Satan and the most evil people, so much so that she makes bizarre, weird comments against Palestinians being blown into pieces, which I find bizarre. You are in hand with her because, look, you might say, I'm not. She's holding the hand of Shaitan and you are holding her hand. You are complicit in it as much as she is. And you brought this to the public. So you're going to pay the price. And this is not a threat. This is just us telling you, Salman, the ex of Dunya, that we are going to use your standards against you, and we are going to hear the story of dunya, and we're going to bring it to the public and say, guys, we're not saying it is true or not. Here's the story of dunya, and here is what she accuses her ex-husband Salman of. And let's see how you like that. The same standards here, brother. The same standards. An eye for an eye. Because you came with lies and accusations. At least you yourself tell us that dunya made these accusations against you.
Dunya is concerned due to the fact Salman has been showing up at her venues and causing disturbances. This is another egregious lie, as I never showed up to any of her venues or caused any disturbances. As with the growing list of lies, this is another claim rooted in lies, which she cannot provide any evidence for, nor furnish any witnesses. Bring forth your proofs of adultery in our marriage. After all, you told your friend Nahila that I was caught on camera. Go ahead, release it to the public.
Yet, in Hijab'S case, he has inexplicably lowered the evidentiary standard, repeating at least twice in his message that her word is her evidence.
Bring forth your proofs of physical violence in our marriage. Bring forth your proofs of your ex-sister-in-law trying to run you over in the parking lot on 3 different occasions. Bring forth your proofs, and if you cannot, by Allah, may you always be known as a wicked and vicious liar.
And the last thing that I'll leave with you guys, brothers and sisters, is Salman's video recordings of him saying and telling us the accusations that dunya accuses him of, and how passionately and aggressively and how emotionally he's touched by these accusations. Yet he does the same to Omar Suleiman, Muhammad Hijab, and even people who are much older than him, such as Yasser Birjas. This man, as you can see, is throwing these accusations left, right, center. And do you think it's going to stop Muhammad Hijab? No, it's not. His rage that he has for his ex-wife has blinded his justice. Hear it for yourself.
Bring forth your proofs, and if you cannot, by Allah, may you always be known as a wicked and vicious liar amongst the people on this earth and amongst the angels, until you repent and until you issue a public apology to myself, to my wife, to my family, and to all the people you have slandered and harmed.
And you heard that for yourself, guys. Lastly, I want to say this. Go to his comment sections. Majority of the people are enemies of Islam, Christians. Now to the Christians out there, just as a little message for you guys. No scandal, false, true, not true, whatever for that matter, can take away from the problem of the Trinity. Look, I just want to make this clear to you guys, okay? Because you guys cannot deal with the Trinity argument and people are leaving Islam, there's a new Pew research that shows that people are leaving Christianity in the millions. Okay, so I want to tell you guys, don't think that this is a bullet against Islam for that matter. It isn't. So all I'm going to say is die in your rage, because not only that, these comments that have been everywhere, you can see it, majority of them are from Christians. And not only that, what I find bizarre is that Salman doesn't even have the audacity, the respect to Islam. David Wood, the absolute crackhead, who's talking about his mom went through this and and his comment is there with 400 likes. Salman, who responds to many people, by the way, yeah? When people say something he doesn't like, no, I've got evidence and it's going to be damning, etc., etc. For some odd reason, leaves the comment of the biggest enemy of Islam. It's like Abu Jahl leaves a comment and he leaves that there and doesn't delete it. He responds to everyone else. Muslims who are questioning and saying, well, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? He questions and says, no, I've got something coming. It's not been coming. Yeah, it's like Father Christmas. When's it coming? But when David Wood and the enemies of Islam comment, they don't even delete it. Muslim mum who done a video, may Allah bless her, she want to do her own video, no problem. This little midget, this intellectual midget, what's his name? Samir, the one that speaks like that, yeah? Okay, that little midget, I was looking for you can Google, yeah? That flipping clown, he made a comment, the sister, we informed they deleted it immediately. Salman, the enemies of Islam are commenting and making up lies, and you are leaving them there. You are as bad as Bushra. I'm going to leave it there, inshallah, brothers and sisters. We have provided you all evidences, first-hand accounts of myself and my wife meeting Bushra. I trusted you. I treated you like my own sister, and I took on your words. And you lied and deceived myself. You lied and deceived Muhammad Tarawne, and you have now, I don't know if you've deceived Salman. Looks like he's on board with you, with shaking hands with Shaitan. But for that matter, brothers and sisters, all I'm going to say is inshallah. And one thing that I was going to miss, the mubahala. Just to touch upon that, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, we've got a woman, which I've given you a track record of the very bizarre things she's saying, and there seems to be a psychological issue. There has to be. Is asking Muhammad Hijab, a 6'6" guy, to come and do mubahala with her. Now, when you do mubahala, this is something that is directed to the Christians in the Quran. So she's asking that Muhammad Hijab and his family and kids, that she wants their cells to be cancered or whatever, and she comes there with her daughter. I've seen a little daughter, and she wants Hijab to invoke a curse on a single mother, yes, and a 6 or 7-year-old girl. I mean, I don't know what to say to this. You want us to come forward and curse another Muslim, a single mother with her daughter, on what camera? Should we do it on camera at some After Effects? Or I don't understand. It's very, very bizarre. So that's why we do not take this claim very seriously, because a woman who said things like that, I will not take anything she says seriously from this moment onward. That's all we need to say, inshallah, brothers and sisters. And this matter comes to an end, and we will, inshallah, continue our works. And those behind the scenes who are coming together with the Zionists and the enemies of Islam, and whoever is for that matter, alhamdulillah, you will not stop our course. We are going to carry on. Your false accusations and lies only further prove that we are trying our best. We're not perfect. Best believe we're not perfect. But believe me, what you accuse us of, nowhere near are we those people. So brothers and sisters, I ask you guys to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to this matter, inshallah, and do not aid your brother or your sister, yes, against the shaitan, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.